Gonna take a while, but hopefully it'll be sooner than later that it gets fixed.
Florida residents are trying to rebuild after one of the most powerful hurricanes to hit the state. That's where we're starting the show. I'm Jeff Pierre, and this is The 7 from The Washington Post. It's Thursday, August 31st. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Hurricane Idalia hit Florida with flooding, tornadoes, and dangerous winds. The storm left a trail of destruction after making landfall yesterday in the Big Bend region of the state. It brought winds approaching 125 miles per hour, tying an 1896 hurricane as the strongest on record to hit that area. Residents and officials were hopeful that they had avoided the worst-case, deadliest scenarios. The Washington Post spoke to residents after the storm passed. Carol Upshaw, who lives in Perry, told the Post that seeing the amount of destruction, both around the community and inside her home, has been hard.
I've never seen nothing like this a day in my life, seriously. This is looking scary. It's making you want to stay out your house because the light's off, but it's just making you, just to see the surroundings, it's making me scared to go somewhere, and I ain't got enough gas to get there because can't get no gas.
Authorities said 2 motorists died while driving on rain-soaked roads. The toll may rise in the coming days, but officials said they haven't yet seen indicators of a high death count. Idalia is now a tropical storm. It's bringing destructive winds and fears of fatal flooding to the Carolinas. You can track the storm's path on our homepage. Number 2.
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
That's okay. What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Mitch McConnell appeared to freeze again while talking to reporters. The Senate Minority Leader paused for around 20 seconds while answering a question yesterday. An aide standing at the front of the room with McConnell asked him whether he heard the question.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
At this point, he's just staring blankly ahead.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
McConnell then took more questions, but his answers were stilted. It's not the first time that this has happened. It mirrored a moment in July when the Kentucky Republican abruptly stopped speaking. The incidents have raised questions about the 81-year-old's health. McConnell's staff blamed both episodes on lightheadedness. Number 3. A judge ruled yesterday that Rudy Giuliani defamed Georgia election workers. The former New York mayor and personal attorney for Donald Trump falsely accused 2 women of tampering with the 2020 election results. He repeatedly claimed that misleading security footage showed the women bringing in suitcases full of votes for Joe Biden. Yesterday's ruling was the first major legal judgment against Giuliani for his efforts to overturn Trump's election loss. And it came just a week after Giuliani surrendered in Georgia, answering an election-related criminal indictment that also included Trump and 17 others. A trial will be held to assess how much Giuliani owes the women in damages. Number 4. At least 73 people were killed in an apartment fire in South Africa. Officials said this morning that the fire tore through a multi-story apartment building in Johannesburg. At least 52 people were injured in the blaze. A search and rescue operation is underway and the death toll could rise. Witnesses said that around 200 people may have been inside. It's not immediately clear what caused the fire. Number 5. More Americans are falling behind on car loan and credit card payments. Missed payments on household debt are at their highest levels in a decade. One expert said the numbers are expected to rise even higher this year. This is a worrying sign that rising prices and borrowing costs are squeezing household budgets, and things could get worse when student loan repayments restart in October after a 3-year pause. Number 6. The nation's top health agency recommended easing marijuana restrictions. The Department of Health and Human Services said weed should be reclassified as a lower-risk Schedule III controlled substance. This is a first step toward a landmark shift in U.S. policy. Marijuana is currently placed in the Schedule I category, alongside drugs including heroin and LSD. The Drug Enforcement Administration will decide whether to reclassify marijuana. It's reviewing the recommendations, but that process could take months. And at number 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes your Nebraska Cornhuskers!
Nebraska volleyball set a world record for attendance for a women's sports event. The University of Nebraska's match against Omaha took place last night. Nebraska is the 4th-ranked team in the country. They won the match in a sweep. Just over 92,000 fans filled Memorial Stadium, which is the school's football home. That broke an attendance record set last year at a soccer match in Spain between Barcelona and Wolfsburg. The Cornhuskers have sold out 306 consecutive matches, and the sport itself is booming. It's quickly approaching basketball as the most popular women's college sport. You're all caught up for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. And if you're really liking the show, tell a friend about us. I'm Jeff Pierre, and I will meet you back here tomorrow.